Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lydia, an adult fantasy writer who is hoping to become traditionally published someday. And I was tagged in the Curly Reading Challenge, which has been circulating through the booktube, a little bit of authortube channels. It was originally created by Charlie Ray Horse. I did try to find their account on here to tag them in this to say thank you. I couldn't find them. So please tag them in the comments if you do know who they are and you can find their channel. I would love to give them some credit. But I was tagged by the lovely Caitlin over at Bandy's Books, and her channel is all about books. It is from TBR piles to book of the month to her month-end wrap-ups and predictions. Thank you, Caitlin, and here we go. Number one, how many books do I read at once? Usually one book at a time. I have tried juggling books. I still try to juggle books, but typically it ends up with me falling in love with one book over another one, and just reading that book all the way through and then going back and reading the other book all the way through, which basically turns into one book at a time. Number two, if I do read multiple books at once, when do I know to switch? Again, I'm really bad at this, so please let me know in the comments below. If you have any tips and tricks on switching between books, how do you juggle them? Please let me know. I would love to be able to do that. I feel like that would help me avoid reading slumps. Because I feel like reading slumps happen to me a lot more often because I'm doing one book at a time, and just I feel like if I had more books in rotation, that would help. Number three, do I ever switch bookmarks partway through a book? This question baffles me. I start with one book, I have to finish with that bookmark. Like it's the same bookmark all the way through, and then I can put it in my little bookmark mug. Does anyone else have a bookmark mug? I feel like this is a thing, right? But if I start with this one, it's going to end with this one, and then I can put it away, and then I can go to a new one. And yeah, so this question hurts my brain. I know Caitlin over at Bandy's Book says that she does this all the time, so apparently it is a thing, but like, why? Number four, where do I keep the book I'm currently reading? Typically, it just chills on my desk. I live in my loft, this is part of the loft. The loft goes all the way that way. I live up here basically. My husband fondly calls me the loft troll when he doesn't see me all day, because I will literally just stay here all day and just come down for water and food and then come back upstairs. This is where I work. This is where I write. This is sometimes where I work out, depending on what I'm doing that day. This is also where I create my videos. So I live here. And my cats love to come up here too. So it's like a fun little nest that I have going on. So my current book is usually just on my desk. Sometimes it's on the ground if I'm stretching or something, and then my cat usurps the book and falls asleep on it, and then I won't move it. 5, what time of day do I do the most reading? This totally depends. Again, I'm a huge mood reader, so some days I'll wake up and be like, I have to read my book right now, and I will read it while I'm drinking my coffee. Other days, I won't read at all. And most days I do like to, at some point, read my book when I'm stretching, either in the afternoon, after workout, or at night, right before bed. But again, it kind of depends. It also depends on how excited I am to pick that book up. Number 6, how long do I typically read for? I do about 30 minutes at a time. I don't have a long enough attention span to do more than that. I get very antsy after a while. I start pacing and I get distracted. I start rereading the same sentence over and over. I think part of it is I can't picture the story fully in my head. I can get like glimpses of an outline. I might be able to see someone's eyes or something, but it doesn't play in my head like a movie the way I hear other people can visualize things when they're reading. So for me, I just find it very difficult to pay attention for longer sprints than 30 minutes at a time. That doesn't mean that I read 30 minutes a day. I might read 5 hours. It's just going to be broken up into those 30-minute sessions throughout the course of the day, kind of thing. Number 7, do I read with the hardcover dust jackets on or off? Off. The dust jackets annoy me when I'm reading the book. They just get in my way. They're sliding all over the place. They're not flat against the book when I open it up, and it just becomes an annoying mess, and I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it does. Am I the only person with this issue? Like, let me know in the comments. Do dust jackets just annoy you when you're reading? Like, I love them. They're beautiful. I love seeing it. I just can't read with them. Number 8, which position do I use to read? Either I'm just sitting like this or I am stretching. So whatever, pick a stretching position. I'm probably doing that while I'm reading. It can get tricky at times, but I weirdly enjoy doing that while I am stretching. It feels kind of relaxing. Number 9, do I take the book I'm currently reading anywhere I go? Usually not. I've never felt this inherent need to have a book on me at all times. Now, if I'm going to the doctor's office or something, and we all know how long those waits can be, absolutely I have a book with me. I also have the Libby app on my phone. I got that back in 2020 when COVID first started and the libraries were starting to close down. I'm like, oh, I need the Libby app because I'm not buying every single book I read. That's just not ideal and in the stars for me. So I do have that on my phone. So technically I always have a book with me. Number 10, how often do I update my progress on Goodreads? Like never. I use Goodreads primarily to just track all the books I want to read. So if I hear about a cool book, usually on Bookstagram, but also on BookTube, that I'm interested in, I'll go over to Goodreads and I'll just mark it as I want to read. And then if I actually pick it up, I'll then do, currently reading and then finished reading kind of thing. I don't usually do book reviews on Goodreads. I don't like putting ratings on my reviews. I appreciate ratings, and I definitely am one of those people that go on Goodreads and I look to see what everyone else is saying and what stars they're giving it. Absolutely. But me personally, I just struggle very hard to do that because I know books that I might not like, and especially books like DNF that like people love, then it's really hard to rate it. And I'd rather just post on Instagram saying, hey, I didn't like this book. Here's what I didn't like, but here's also what I did like, because usually I find there's some kind of balance, and sometimes the things I don't like, other people love. And sometimes the things I do like, people are like, oh, I'm staying away from that book. So I don't really do Goodreads to the extent that I feel like a lot of people do on Goodreads, if that makes sense. Number 11 is to tag a friend, and I'm going to actually tag 2 people. I'm relatively new to YouTube, so there's only so many people I do know, but these 2 I do adore. The first one is Star Girl's Magical Tale. She is also very new to YouTube. She's posted a few shorts right now, and they all are beautifully done, just showing off her books. But I follow her over on Instagram, and she does like a fun little combination of books and movies, and she talks sometimes about Disney. I really enjoy talking to her. And the second account I want to tag is 2 Writers Walk Into a Bar. It is a podcast hosted by 2 people, and it is a lot of fun just to listen to them talk, to be honest. They do query letter critiques, which is a lot of fun to hear their opinions and thoughts and advice on a query letter that they have received. It has helped me think about how I'm writing query letters too, so that's really great. And then they also talk about the ups and downs of being writers, which is super relatable. Please let me know in the comments below what kind of habits you have. Let me know if you change your bookmarks. Thanks so much for sticking around. I'll see you guys later. Bye. My brain can't, I feel like I'm malfunctioning. By the way, these people are amazing. Love you, Peoples and Tales.